Alright, guys, today we are going to talk about the importance of actually understanding what characters are. So, this probably isn't going to take that long, but I need to do this because I got a lot of questions that I see. Like, I'm streaming a whole lot more now, and I just wanted to show, a lot of the characters. Now, a lot of people don't understand what characters are. Now, I'm going to talk about group composition in another video because that's you kind of need some time to speak about that. But as far as characters, not every character was what they seem. Now I'm gonna give you a true traditional tank. That's Hinata. A attack tank would be Kimimaru. Now the difference between these two is a traditional tank is going to use their mastery to shield themselves. There's a few people in the game who do that, and you'd be surprised to know that Naruto is actually, cause he's not really an offensive character. He's more of a defensive character. His majority of his stuff is all more about defense, except for his mastery. It's whatever. It's the giant Rasengan, but the initial baseline Naruto, he's a tank. Like you see, like his passive on the bottom is the lower life, higher Naruto's defense and resistance. That goes well with his clones, because his clones they're like extra extensions of him that take extra hits. They're not that strong, but like if he puts those three out there, that's something pretty good. He does have the shadow clone jutsu, and like I said, the clones, they're not that strong, so they put themselves out there as kind of like deterrents. It's like extra tankiness. So in essence, Naruto is a defense tank. He's not really offense, so he wouldn't necessarily be an attack tank. You wouldn't consider him as that because he's not really that good attacking. He's alright, but you're not really going to use him to be in the DPS team. You're going to use him more to be in the defensive team. So he actually would work well with Hinata. Next you have Gaara. Gaara is straight up a defense tank. It's like there's no way around it. That's what he is. And like he uses Sand Hell, and it gives wind attribute and everything else, and has a barrier and everything else. He has a secondary barrier, and he scales off resistance, so he's straight up a tank. You get the gist of that. Now Neji is an attack tank. He has his taunt and his passive. The Trigon rotation, which is like it's a passive, and it doesn't always evade everything, and you can actually get that up with gear. Like that can be even stronger to the point where you really start evading a lot of stuff, and that gets super annoying. And that has a lot to do with refinement, and it gets even better later on. So I'll explain that at a later date, but not right now. So he can become a defense. Like he could become like the perfect tank, like a Neji, Kimimaru, Toby, Itachi, like all those guys. They can become perfect tanks with very good gear, but that's with very good gear. And still technically, then like Toby and Itachi really aren't meant to be doing that, but you can actually do that and get away with it. They'll just be considered dodge tanks, but if they get hit, they're gonna get their ass kicked. That's the way it rolls with them. There's a certain thing as let me show you. There's actually one more tank that I have that people really don't know is a tank. He's actually really good. Kidimaru is a tank, and he's really good. I gotta do a video on him because he's actually better than what I thought he is. So we're gonna talk about him later though. Now there's CC characters, there's attack characters, and what you need to understand is sometimes CC characters aren't that great to be put into normal teams. Now, what I would do with a CC character, like with this team right here, this is considered a balanced team. It has a tank, an attack tank, a straight up DPS, my main character, and then Kirinai in the back is the support. Now, what you could do if you don't want to go for a support is I could throw in Shikamaru back there. He's considered a CC. Even though he's like, I don't use him, but I'm just saying in general, he's considered a CC. That's what I was doing with Zabuza, because Zabuza actually was a CC slash tank slash DPS, which makes him really good, this normal Zabuza right here. And if I want to go more blitz, then I would use the Mr. Seven Swordsman Zabuza. But as far as PvE, with PvE, I have to actually use a traditional team and put Kira and I out there. So I have some heals, I have a way to get rid of debuffs and everything like that. So that's what I tend to usually go for. Now you have the straight up raw DPS people, which is Kakashi, Sasuke. Like, I'm just giving you examples, I'm not going through everybody, but Kakashi, Sasuke, Tenten are excellent examples of that. They all have multiple chases, and they're not like, they're very squishy. They're gonna die if they get hit by stuff. It's gonna suck. So what you want to do with those teams is you need to have a fast team. So your refinements need to be all probably like level 4 or 5, so you attack before other people. If you don't, and people attack you, you're probably gonna die and lose and everything else, because those guys are not gonna stand up to a barrage of attacks. So you also have what I would call attack tanks. Well, he's an attack tank. Well, let's call them something else. DPS tanks. They're DPS tanks. Like the Lightning Main, he's a DPS tank. When you use the Amble's assault tactics, he's a DPS tank because he can actually get his healing back, so he has sustain. So a guy that you would consider, guys who you consider DPS tanks are actually the summon characters like Kankuro. He's very tanky. Chiho is tanky and she's the support. Sasori is tanky as that. Naruto Ninetales Chakra is tanky. Shino is a attack tank. Kiba is actually an attack tank too, so they fit that line. Now then you have the AoE characters, which Shino and Kiba are also, but you have other guys who are just more raw AoE. Now I don't think I even have anybody necessarily that's Temari. Temari's raw AoE. Let's see who else. Anko is raw AoE. Let's see, who else do I have like that? Okay, let's go out of here. I'm gonna have to use the general list. Pain Animal Path is raw AoE. Just to give you an example, Conan is AoE. Orochimaru is Orochimaru's single target. He's not it. Sage Jiraiya is raw AoE. He's a little bit tanky too. And I think the fifth Kazekage Gaara is AoE more than he is tanky. So is Playboy Sasuke. Let's see. Itachi is more support. I'll talk about him in a second. See, I think that's everybody else. Actually, the Makeout Paradise version of Shikamaru is AoE as well. And yeah, well, you get the gist of that. And 5 Kage Conference, Temari is AoE too. So then you got the guys who buff, and those are guys who just they cause like a status effect on your team. Like Mike Guy is one of those. Tenten is one of those. Kabuto is another one who does that. Let's see, who else does it? Choji is a self buff. Yeah, I'll explain Choji at the end as well. You get what I mean. Like the first Hokage buffs people. Tsunade, well, the other version of Tsunade, not this version, buffs. Let's see who else buffs. Gaara, the original version of Gaara, he tanks, but he also puts out a shield buff on people who fit sand. And Iruka buffs. Let's see who else. I think that's the majority of all of them right now. Now, you have people who are support, which you consider healers, but some are more of a CC healer, some are just more of a debuff get rid of type of character, and that's pretty much what Kiranai is. She kind of gets rid of debuffs, she CCs, and she shields. As you see, Sakura is more of a raw healer, as you can see right there. She doesn't necessarily debuff anybody, but she does it once with the main mastery, and that's it. After that, she doesn't keep doing it like the other healers, so it kind of sucks a little bit, because if you stop her from doing that, then she never gets rid of anything. So yeah, there's that. Let's see, Ino is a healer, even though I don't use her. Right there. See, but she also gets rid of debuff. She does it every round. So as Sakura doesn't do it every round. Not Anko. See, do I have anybody else here? I thought I had 3 healers. Oh, Kabuto. Kabuto is like the end healer right now because he puts to summon dead souls out there, and they actually help. And you pretty much have gloomy healing, which is like double the medical effect. So he's gonna heal the lowest people life, and he's a pretty good healer overall. You also have Karine. Karine is more of an attack healer. She doesn't heal all that, like a lot, but she's good overall because then your heal slot is not wasted. Kinda just worrying all about just somebody healing all the time. You see, she's gonna heal one ninja with lowest life and disperse the debuff. She does it twice. So if you get her like a very good gear, she actually does a pretty good job of healing people, and she debuffs. So yeah. So you also have her her spray that causes AoE damage, and then she does it again when it's a 10 combo or at least. So you can put some pretty big combos up when you put her together with Sasuke and Tenten. The only problem with that is then who's gonna tank? Like, you see what I mean? Like, so you can't necessarily do that. So if you put her together with Hinata, Sasuke main character, and Karine, you're gonna get a pretty big combo because now you got pretty much 4 people who can chase. So that's gonna be a pretty big combo. So you need to have your main character be a little bit tanky so they can be in front, and that's pretty good. You're gonna end up with like 11, 12 hit combos with teams like that. That's why I like, I roll with Hinata. She's really good. So then you have the people who just don't fit, and that's what I'm gonna wrap this up at. The people who don't fit are people who are just like Toby doesn't fit, like, because he other than being broke right now, he just doesn't fit. Konohara doesn't fit. Ino swimsuit is just weird and it doesn't fit. Each Bell your team, like she's just weird. It's just overall, I know it's fan service and everything else, but her character kind of doesn't fit with everybody. Who else is like oddball? Lee 8 Gates doesn't fit. Sasuke Playboy doesn't fit. Like they're standalone characters that they put into the game, more or less. And like Sasori 10 Puppets doesn't really fit. He doesn't really have a classification. He's like everything, pretty much. So these are guys that are just like, they're standalone. Like Sage Naruto doesn't fit. He's another one that's like that. Those are the guys that you could just kind of like put them anywhere, and they'll have a good effect on your team. So other than that, I hope you understood what I'm trying to say with this. You just want to make sure that you use teams properly. There's going to be another video that's going to go alongside this one. It's going to be the group video. Like, you see like how long I had to talk to kind of explain this. The group stuff is going to be kind of similar, so I didn't want to put them together because you're looking like a 30-minute video. So other than that, you guys be legendary, and I will see you next video. Peace. I'd like to thank everybody for 10K subs. You have no idea how much I appreciate that. And if you liked what you saw in this video, please click the top right to click more of my videos, or click the bottom right to subscribe to the channel. Once again, one love, peace, and I will see you next video.